Alright, homie Slice, we are back. We got some more Fire Emblem Heroes. Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at our girl Marla here, who is the brand new Grand Hero Battle unit. Now, believe it or not, Marla is actually like the best in slot merge project red tome that we have. Crazy, I know, but if we head over here and we just quickly take a look, her BST is 187, which is second only to Valentine Henriette. And that unit is an armored unit, so that's kind of an unfair advantage there. The next closest unit that would have a similar BST to her, that is also free to play, would be Iago. He was also a Grand Hero Battle, and his BST is 5 points lower. This includes Dragon Flowers as well, so this is basically as high as the characters can get. And if we go ahead and sort by attack stat, we'll see that Marla is actually all the way at the top. She has the highest base attack out of any Red Tome character, period, including 5-star exclusives. Look at this, like Fallen Julia is 2 points lower. The Valentine, or Groom Robin that we got is able to match her in terms of attack. However, of course, Marla being infantry has access to way better skills like Special Spiral 4 and Magic Null Follow-Up and things like that. So she can bite through DR, whereas he can't. And then Kyria, another 5-star exclusive, just gets dominated. So Marla's stat distribution is actually pretty nuts. She also has the highest res as well, so she tops Fallen Julia, she beats Legendary Lilina, she even beats Valentine Henriette, who's a freaking armored unit. So we got some really good stuff here with Marla. Her stat distribution is awesome, and of course, the Arcane Red Tome is going to allow her to play up to her strengths. Now, every build that we look at today is also going to apply to Hestia. Even though Hestia is a Blue Tome unit, she can still use Arcane Euphoria, which is very similar in playstyle to Arcane Eclipse. The only difference is that Arcane Eclipse gives you the turn 1 pulse, whereas you're getting a lot of extra bonuses from Arcane Euphoria, like damage reduction, bonus damage based on attack, and things like that. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at Marla here. So, stat line is 38 HP. We got 46 attack, we got 33 speed, 20 defense, and then 45 res. As we just demonstrated, her attack and res is literally second to none. So, this unit is not a bad idea to build up if you're interested. Now, the only downside, I guess, is her skin. I don't know what's going on with these two. They got, like, zombie skin. I'm sure they sell an ointment for that. But Sonya definitely took better care of her skin than they did, unfortunate as that may be. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look at their base kits. So they both have the same exact weapon, except different colors. Marla has Rowardeer, and then Hestia has, Blardeer, the blue one. And this is basically just Spider Plushie all over again. You get attack up 5 in combat, you do attack -5 to the foe in combat, and you inflict guard as well. So it's an okay bait option weapon, I guess, but there's obviously better things you can give them. Now, Marla comes with Glacies, while Hestia comes with Iceberg. So both of them just come with a special that they can use pretty well right out the gates, which is nice. Marla has Sabotage Attack Res, while Hestia has, I believe it was Res Ploy. So both are actually pretty good pickup skills. Like, this one can pick up Sabotage Attack Res, which is not so bad of a B skill for them. It'll be able to play up to their high res stat, and they can debuff the enemies like hell. So pretty awesome. And then, of course, Attack Ploy can be a pickup for Attack Res Ploy, which is a new skill we got on the Sonya on the banner. So, both really nice fodder kits, despite obviously being demote characters. Okay, now also, Marla has a Super Boon on Res, which I think should be the top priority. If you're going to use the Ascended Floret on her, you probably want to go plus attack there, so just raise her attack and res. Also, Hestia has a Super Boon on Res and defense, so there you guys go. They are very similar, pretty much the same unit, just different colors. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look at some builds here. We're going to start things off with a classic nuking build here for Arcane Eclipse. So you get the -1 from this weapon. You also get the Times Pulse. We can stack another copy of Times Pulse there to get -2. Then we've got Special Spiral 4 and Times Pulse to loop Glacies over and over after we proc a special the first time. All you would need is one outside source of Pulse to get this ready. That would be from Asker or Legendary Hector or somebody on the team who has Infantry Pulse or whatever. Pick your favorite way to get a Pulse on her, and then you're basically good to go. We also have the Attack Oath Echo X skill here. We're going to be able to show off some X skills on our brand new builds since the unit builder has updated to include them. So Oath Echo should make the most sense. You're getting raw attack up 6, and then you're also allowed to warp. So it's really good having Oath Echo on builds that run a bona fide C skill like Time's Pulse or like Canto Control in the event of Gatekeeper and things like that. Like when you're running a C skill that you do not want to change, it's just nice to be able to get the innate warp and also attack up 6 from Oath Echo. So you'll see this one more often on builds than Deathblow, unless we're talking about a Brave Attack unit that really wants to get as much in-combat attack as possible. So Finish wraps up the build pretty much. We get 5 free damage when proccing a special, which we will always be doing, and then you get some recovery and just attack and res, which is the stats that we want. So this build should go without saying. Alright, here is a bait option build. Now this one would be for bullying fire sweep and also water sweep enemies that are trying to just attack you for free and see if they can get away with it. We have Hardy Bearing here as the seal. You could use a different one if you prefer, but this is more so for the Veronica matchup, so she can't just get Desperation on you and hit you with Enclosure, which would probably one-shot. So if she's only hitting you once and you're able to counterattack, you will be able to beat her. So we're able to give the middle finger to Veronica with that. Also, Null C, of course, will give us some damage reduction. It's dual phase damage reduction, so you can get the 30% DR even on the player phase when you're attacking. So that's nice there. And of course, if you're attacking, having Hardy Bearing will allow you to bully units like Fallen Byleth and also Ninja Camilla and units that are very reliant on Vantage effects. So this is a dual purpose seal here where we can get some player phase and enemy phase utility. Also, the Hardy Bearing is nice against T. Lysithea, who relies on Desperation too. So, just more units that you may want to have Hardy Bearing against. Bonus Doubler 4, 1 out for the A skill. I was also considering Fire Flood Boost for the guard and the attack and res. However, Bonus Doubler is just all stats up 10, assuming you have an ally within 2 spaces that is all stat up 6 buffed. So, even in the worst case scenario, it's still just all stats of 4. If you have an ally in 2 spaces. So I feel like Bonus Doubler is going to see some good play on these like bulky builds that you want to have basically everything going on. We have Flare for some sustain, and also we can ramp into it pretty quickly. So Arcane Eclipse has -1, and then Time's Pulse, bringing this down to a 1 hit. The enemy attacks you, it's ready, and then you hit them, you blow them up, and then you get back all the HP you just lost from their first hit. So that should make a lot of sense. And then Attack and Res Ploy, of course, for a lot of debuff support. Also, it's turning off the stat ball effects like Grand Strategy and also Bonus Doubler. And then you're also getting Ploy to help yourself deal more damage. So that would be an idea for an enemy phase build here. And then finally, we have an AoE build that I thought would also be a decent option. Unfortunately, Special Spiral 4 does not nullify DR for these Blazing Specials. But we still need to run Special Spiral 4 anyway to get the -2 after proccing it, so we can just keep on looping it over and over. We're also running Attack and Res Ploy here again. Now, Attack and Res Ploy inflicting exposure on the enemy does play up to Blazing Specials because you get the exposure damage on the Blazing Special and then your regular attack. So it's like plus 20 points of damage there, which is insane. And then, of course, all the debuffs. The raw number debuff, like the red debuff to res that you do with this, is going to allow you to hit harder with the Blazing Special. Also, Attack Oath Echo, giving you a raw blue bonus to attack up 6 there, is again playing up to Blazing Specials where you want to have base numbers instead of in-combat numbers. Double Stillwater should make a lot of sense here. Look at this monstrous 80 points of attack. That is insane. And then, of course, the magic number for res. So, very nice stuff from Marla here. Should go without saying, it's a pretty nice build, and it's an alternate option if you'd prefer to go for Blazings instead of just blowing them up with a single-hit special there. So there you guys go. That wraps up the builds for Marla. Now, I just wanted to quickly take a look at some other skills we didn't show on the builds that can work. So Fire Flood Boost, as I mentioned, gives her attack and res, also HP up 5, which could be nice if you wanted to run like Infantry Pulse 4 on her, which could let her pulse and let her allies pulse as well. So this is not too shabby, and then you also get guard as well, which could be helpful. We have Remote Mirror here for some in-combat DR and then attack up 7 and res up 10. So this could be an option if you want to get some player phase DR. Sabotage Attack Res, I think I mentioned this already, but just being able to debuff the enemies based on their attack and res and inflict the sabotage status can be pretty good. So You're going to be able to hit the enemies pretty hard. It also has an in-combat debuff. Yeah, it's attack and res minus X on the foe based on 3 plus their highest penalty. So worst case scenario, it's still like attack and res minus 3 in combat. So this one's not too shabby. And then attack and res oath 4. If you wanted to run death blow echo instead, you would run this for the C skill. And this would give you the warping, the attack and res up 6, and then also the in-combat attack and res up 3. So just pumping up her res even further. I didn't pull up infantry pulse 4, but it would be an option if you ran fire flood boosts to get the bonus HP. So that's going to wrap us up for the builds for Marla and I guess by extension Hestia, because they would pretty much run the exact same builds. You would, of course, fine-tune the special more so towards having Arcane Euphoria, though. So you don't get the Pulse, so you may want to run Iceberg instead on Hestia. That's just an option. Or just find a way to get a second copy of Pulse somewhere on the team. There's a lot of units that can Pulse your allies, especially infantry ones. So it shouldn't be too hard to get ready with Hestia as well as Marla. So that's going to wrap us up for this video, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed the coverage on Sonia's sisters there. So this is your boy Tacho signing out. Take care, fellas, and I'll catch y'all again on the flip side.